Hey guys, good afternoon and happy Wednesday to you. This is Kim, independent designer with Club Couture and Chic is Chic. I'm going to get this pulled up where I can share it really quick over onto the VIP page. And guys, we are going to have some fun tonight because we are going to be working with our transfer from June Club Couture. If you are not a Club Couture member, guys, I am just going to tell you this program is amazing, but not only the program, this transfer is incredible. It is super fantastic and absolutely gorgeous. It is one of my favorites that we have ever had with the club. And if you don't know already, my dog is a Club Couture member because they're so awesome. I cannot go and get another Club Couture transfer unless I'm a member. So designers can't even purchase them. I am going to throw my link here in the comments so you have that if you want to take a look at the Club Couture information. Super duper economical. You can be a Club Couture member for $19.99 per month plus tax, free shipping. This is June's. A beautiful thing is never perfect. We're not going to be utilizing this part today. We're going to be working on this vase. It is super gorgeous, and we're going to do glass etching with the hummingbird and probably this flower, maybe mixed with this. It's going to take us 2 different times to be able to do this because we want to make sure that the hummingbird touches the flower exactly. So we're going to fuzz our transfer, and this may be a little bit more complicated than most glass pieces, because I don't know if you can tell, but it's like a little boat here, getting stuff pushed down. And let me pull up comments. Hey, Roseanne, this absolutely is one of my favorite clubs ever, ever, ever. So I am going to have to kind of mix and mingle with it just a bit, but it's because this is a full cylinder. It is just kind of, it does that little dip. So I have to kind of maneuver it and make sure we're pushed down really, really well. So here's my little cheat. If you are working with Glass Etching Cream, and I'm going to put this right here while I'm pulling up comments. So if you want to take a snapshot really quick of that, you can. This etching cream I get at local craft stores. We do not carry it at Club Couture. So it is not something I carry or can get for you. You can also get it on Amazon. You can get it on any local craft store carries it. I ended up getting this one off of Amazon during the pandemic because I was not going in stores, and I still have way plenty left. Now, here is my little tip for you. If you are new to glass etching, 1, don't be scared of it. Thank you so much, Tina. I appreciate you. 1 is don't be scared of it. We all have to start somewhere. I didn't do glass etching for the longest time. And guys, I really wish I would have done it long before I did. Here is my thing. You have to make sure that all your stuff is pushed down really well. Doesn't matter what all this is doing over here. Doesn't matter, right? That's not where our design is. What we want to pay attention to is where our design is, making sure everything is pushed down well. Now, we have a lot of moving space here, a pretty good amount. And I'm going to encourage you, if you are new to glass etching, to utilize either washi tape or placement tape if you have it. And just put you down your little barrier. See how close that wing is to the edge? We put that down, and it's going to create a little barrier where it won't leak off. We're going to do the same thing here. The etching cream is pretty thick. It does not have a real thinness to it, but you can see this thing is a roly-poly. It is rolling. And there's not really a great spot for me to put bumper guards like I normally do. So I'm going to improvise. Let's see if this stops it. Okay, so the multi-tool stops it from rolling. So here's my tip. If you're going to etch this and you're not on a flat surface, normally I would have a flat surface. I did not get out and go get a different vase because of the torrential downpours we have had here in Mississippi. But this has less of an ability to leak that way than this does. You have a lot more wing space to cover. So my suggestion would be is to make this as high up as you can without making this go way low, if that makes sense. Because your etching cream is going to be here on top, and you don't want this to be this way because that's going to make it kind of roll this way, and this has less of a potential to roll and go down. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. I'm going to put another piece of placement tape right there and grab a popsicle stick. Etching is one of my favorite things to do. I love to show this in parties. It truly is super duper easy to do. And I love the versatility of our transfers. The fact that I can take this same transfer and I can etch one day, ink the next day, paste the next day. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a day later. I'm just saying I can do all of these things with one transfer. And it is pretty thick, so it should not roll off. You just have to be really careful, guys. Especially when we start moving this paste or the etching cream around. We're going to have to exercise kind of a little bit of caution to make sure we're not going crazy town on it. Okay. So you can kind of see why I put the little bumper guards down. I'm going to set my timer over here on my other phone for 5 minutes. So it is going. At this point in time, you want to take your squeegee and you want to squeegee on your etching cream. Sounds kind of weird since I just put a ton of etching cream down, right? But think about your transfer whenever you are adding paste or adding ink, you squeegee on and squeegee off. The reason why we do that is because you're pushing through that ink or that paste through the silk screen to make contact with whatever your surface is. So that's all we're doing with the etching cream. We're squeegeeing on the etching cream so we can push it through so it makes contact with our surface underneath. That's what we're doing. So we're squeegeeing on, squeegeeing off. Not squeegeeing off, but squeegeeing on. Sorry. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not like losing it here. We want to make sure every area is covered. Once we do that, that takes about 1 minute or so. We are going to take our little popsicle stick again, and I'm going to kind of start pushing it back over the design. I want to make sure that the areas that I have covered are the design where we just got through squeegeeing on and squeegeeing off. But you want to make sure it's good and covered and that you have glass etching cream all over it. You don't need to worry about your teal part. You need to worry about every open space where the silk screen area is to make sure all of that is good and covered. Now you can see why I put bumper guards there instead of just leaving it, because it creates a hot mess. Okay, so my friends, once this gets done and we move our etching cream back around, we are going to let this settle and let it be, okay? There's really nothing we have left to do for the last 3 minutes of this little process. Now, I set mine for 5 minutes. Everybody is completely different. I have had people that set it much longer than that. I've had people, if you read the directions, it talks about leaving it on for 1 to 3 minutes. So I really think it depends on you. It depends on what you're wanting to accomplish, and it depends on what you're wanting to absolutely do. I will say the longer that you leave the etching cream on, the more depth of an opaqueness you're going to get. But I truly think that 5 minutes is way plenty. Once we get done with this hummingbird, I'm actually going to put this little cute flower on here right at his beak. And we'll end up putting a little detail, a little minor detail here. I won't make you sit through all of that, but we will go ahead and add, just so you can see how it works once you have an etching design on there, to add another etching design. So if you're working on a cylinder type vase like this, you can't possibly do every single design right at the same time. So it is going to be a step-by-step process, but as you can see, it's really, really, really easy to do. Very easy to accomplish. No biggie. I just want you to be able to see what it looks like once you put the flower near his beak. So you can see how that affects it and how that affects your design. Really, really simple to do, really easy to accomplish, and it doesn't take but just a little bit of time and some amazing and awesome Armor Etch glass etching cream. And like I said, I got this online at Amazon during the pandemic. You can pick this up at local craft stores, but if you're an Amazon customer, you can get this sent to your doorstep without having to step foot in a craft store. So we are down to the last minute, under a minute left, and once we get to this part, we are going to clean off our etching cream. And I always recycle it and put it back in its container because it does last you a couple of etches at least. I never throw all of it out. I go ahead and recycle it by putting it back into my jar. And then we can use it for another day. You can do that a couple of times before you have to kind of start skimming and getting that top layer off. But once we do that, we're going to rinse it, and I will show you the Kim on live Facebook version because we aren't able to take a ride to go into my kitchen to do this. So 8 seconds left, and we're going to get this rinsed so you can see what it looks like. I think this is going to be amazing looking because this design is incredible. I can only imagine what this is going to look like when it's all off. So I'm going to squeegee off. We're just squeegeeing off. Again, I'm putting this back into my jar. You don't have to do that. If you want to toss it, you can. I save mine because it will last you a couple of etches easily. One thing I want to caution you on, if you are using gloves, which you probably should, don't do like Kim does, make sure that you check your hands. Do a hand check before you start peeling off anything. You want to make sure you don't have any etching cream on your fingers or anything like that. I always go ahead and peel up the placement tape that I used. You don't have to do that, but you can. It makes cleaning up a little bit easier. And you can see why we use placement tape. We were kind of all over the place because this is such a big transfer. Large area to cover. And a couple more little pieces. You just want to do a hand check. Make sure that you don't have any type of etching cream on your fingers. If you do and you touch your surface, you are going to etch it, my friends. So we are going to peel this up. So we're just peeling it back. And I can kind of see a little bit of bulkiness. I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to show you that in person though. Or not in person, up close. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So here is a tiny smidge of bulkiness, if y'all can see it, of that etching cream. I don't think it impacted our design at all. I think it's still going to be okay. But this is where you can tell there is a bubble of some sort underneath the transfer there, and that's where that, you know, that bevel part is. But I think it's still going to be okay. This is what it looks like though before we do water. So if I was in my kitchen, we would use clean, cool running water. We are not in my kitchen. We're in my craft room, so we're going to play like we're in my kitchen. And we're going to spray off this etching cream. And again, if you're in your kitchen, you're going to use cool running water to rinse. I just hold it over this bowl. Same difference. Just a little bit slower. Oh yeah, that spot looks perfectly fine. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is gorgeous. Let me get a towel so I can dry this off and you can see it. This is absolutely stunning. It makes me want to go get, a shadow box and do this on a shadow box. Oh my word, y'all. This design is so stinking cute. Let me get that dry so you can see it. There is that incredible design. That hummingbird is so gorgeous, guys. Just so stunning. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful by itself. It's beautiful chalked. I have not inked it yet. But oh my goodness gracious. Is that not an amazing, gorgeous design? I love it. Again, this transfer, if you are not a Club Couture member, you will be able to get this through the end of June, my friends. It is simply stunning and beautiful. Now, I don't know if you can see. I'm going to zoom in just a smidge. Y'all don't let me forget I zoomed in. Because that's what I do, is I zoom in and then I forget that I zoomed in. And then y'all are going like, oh my gosh, back it up. We're going to take this flower. Because the cool thing is with etching, you don't have to wait for anything to dry. We're going to take this flower and we're going to line this flower up. I mean, as picture perfect as we can. Eventually, after we get done with this live, I'll end up putting like a little leaf thing on here. I'm not going to make you sit through glass etching 3 different times because of the 5-minute wait, but I want you to be able to see what this looks like with this flower connected. So we're going to do the same thing again. Let me go ahead, just because I don't want to jinx myself, and put a little bumper guard. Thank y'all. I think he is adorable. I love etching because once you're done, you're done. You don't have to heat set. You don't have to do anything. It's really elegant looking. You can do this with wine glasses. I will tell you, I've learned from experience on a Facebook Live in a party. Do not use the glasses that you see that are at Hobby Lobby that are colored, because they're not true colored glass. They are like plasticky colored glass. So don't use those. And oh my gosh, I just got etching cream on there. Don't use those, because my friends, if you do, you are going to end up, not kidding, with nothing. So don't use those little glass bud vases that they would be called, that you can get at Hobby Lobby that are colored. You will end up with nothing. You'll do it and you'll wait the whole time, and then you'll take it off and you'll be like, nothing's there, because it just won't leave anything. It's plastic covered glass, not kidding. Okay, so let's set our timer really quick one more time. I am going to start squeegeeing on. And again, because we're doing so many little moving pieces, there's no way for you to do this if you have touching parts all at the same time. You have to do each section different. Now, if you were putting a whole big design on here, of course you could do it like if you were doing one transfer, but because our leaf part has to touch our flower, we wanted our hummingbird to touch our flower, there's no real good way to do that to make things great, right? So we have to do that separately all at the same time. I'm going to leave that right there. Meanwhile, since we have 4 minutes to kill, I'm going to show you what is my favorite part of all of this. And let me just make sure that that doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to show you my favorite part out of all of this, okay? And that is the mere fact, hopefully, let me zoom out so y'all can see. Sorry, I forget. I'm down here at the bottom, and I'm taking my hummingbird transfer that we just used. I'm going to spray it with water. And I'm going to use my, can you tell I don't care about this fuzzing towel? It's had all kinds of paste on it. And I'm going to get this cleaned and dried while we have time to kill. We still have 3 minutes on this little flower. So I'm just going to get this clean and dry really quick, because I want to show you, in case you're catching this for the first time and you've never seen glass etching before, and you might be one of those surprised people to find that you can use the same transfer with different mediums over and over and over again. we clean this off, and I want to show you really quick. We're going to make sure it's good and dry. This is my favorite part of all favorites. Let me see if I can find a chalkboard. You would think I would have, here we go. We're going to do it on the back of this. One of my favorite boards, the board and base. So let's line up this little cute hummingbird. We just used that adorable transfer to make the gorgeous glass etched design. I'm going to use a couple of paste colors really quick. And we're going to just kick it up a little notch. We're going to use Tide and Pistachio. And again, this is just showing you the versatility of our transfers. I don't have to show you this. I could just be boring and wait for the timer to go off, but I'm not boring. I love to show y'all the versatility of this and show you how amazing our transfers really are, because at the end of the day, if you're making an investment in a transfer, you want to be able to use it in multiple facets, and this allows you to do that without any worries. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think, oh my gosh, did I use this with paste? It doesn't matter, guys. It really, truly does not matter. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to squeegee all over, kind of creating a hot mess technique. This is just a little bit better than just doing one paste color. You can do one though. You don't have to do two. This is just showing you a little bit different manner. And I didn't have my small squeegee in here, which would have even been better. And we're going to go ahead and peel and reveal our little hummingbird. And there he is again, using Chalkology paste just a minute or so later. Not too terribly long. And our wait time for our little flower is almost up. But just like that, guys, you can wash, reuse the transfer between ink, between paste, between glass etching. That is truly one of my favorite things. Whenever I get passionate about something, I really get passionate about it. And one thing I love is the versatility of our products and being able to use chalk paste, ink, glass etching. Doesn't matter. You don't have to go buy another transfer to do those fun things. You can do them without having to go buy another transfer. And I love that. Especially since the Club Couture, you can't go out and buy another one unless you want to have 2 subscriptions and 2 different people. So we have less than 10 seconds. We're going to do the same thing we did just a minute ago, but I wanted you to be able to see the flower and the hummingbird. There is our timer. Let's go ahead and remove this etching cream. And again, this etching cream is just, to me, it kicks your designs up another notch. Just some amazing things you can do with it. Just think of all like the wine glasses or the little glass tumblers. This was a little bit big for a glass tumbler, which is why we used a vase instead. But it's still super duper pretty. Gorgeous, gorgeous design. I can imagine having flowers in here. And just having all those pictures of these beautiful hydrangeas that people are posting. I don't have a green thumb to save my life, but I appreciate people that do. Okay, we're going to remove this one. Again, peel side to side or top to bottom. This is going to be so cute. And off camera, I'm going to pull my bucket back up here. Off camera, I will be adding some of the elements like the little leaves and such, but I wanted y'all to be able to see the hummingbird in action. We're going to spray off that flower. Again, if you're under a kitchen sink, you're going to do cool running water. Not hot, not cold, just cool running water. And let's dry it really quick so y'all can see this. Super duper excited about this. So gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to be able to go back and add our little elements of these little leaf things that came with the Club Couture sample. And there is your little hummingbird. Let me hold it up a little bit better. Hummingbird with the little flower and going after the flower, we'll be able to add some little leaf stuff around here so it doesn't look like it's just floating in thin air. But y'all, that hummingbird is simply gorgeous. And if you look at the two, you can kind of take your pick with what you love, what you don't love. But I love the fact that I don't have to choose. I can have a pasted one. I can have an inked one. I can have a glass etched one, because our transfers are amazing and we can use them over and over and over again, anywhere between 8 and 12 times. Simply stunning in my opinion. I'm so excited. Now I'll have to go get me some flowers to put in this because it's too gorgeous to not have flowers in. But I hope y'all have an amazing, beautiful Wednesday. Enjoy. We're almost to the weekend again. And guys, I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow. So I hope you have fun. If you have any questions about the club, comment club in the comments and I will be glad to send you some more detailed information. And if you're not familiar with my Club Couture guarantee for my VIP people, you can comment club VIP and I will send you some more information about that as well. But I hope y'all have a blessed evening. Happy Wednesday, my friends. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.